They said there was no way a human body could physically reach that place, not by climbing, not by crawling, not by force. And yet when police arrived just after dawn, the body was already there, lying perfectly still in a sealed concrete corridor that had no working entrance, no recorded access, and no explanation. And that impossibility is what makes this case different from every other unsolved death on record. Because before investigators even asked who the man was or how he died, they were forced to confront a more disturbing question. How did a body end up somewhere no one could go? The call had come in from a maintenance worker assigned to inspect abandoned infrastructure in an industrial zone closed for more than 10 years, a forgotten stretch of concrete and steel wedge between two derelict buildings, the kind of place people pass without noticing. Except hidden behind one of those buildings was a narrow service corridor sealed by a heavy steel hatch bolted from the outside. A hatch city record showed had not been opened in years, yet that morning it stood slightly ajar. The lock intact, untouched, no scratches, no signs of forced entry. And inside the corridor lay the body of a man later identified as Daniel Mercer, 39 years old, no fixed residence, no active employment, no known enemies. His body placed flat on the concrete floor, arms resting at his sides, legs straight, aligned carefully, not twisted or collapsed, as if positioned. Intentionally, his clothes clean, his shoes dry despite heavy rain the night before. And most unsettling of all, there were no injuries, no blood, no bruises, no marks of restraint, nothing to explain why he was dead. Forensic teams documented the space repeatedly and confirmed what seemed impossible. The corridor narrowed to less than 16 inches at one point, a structural choke that even a small adult body could not pass through, yet Daniel Mercer was found beyond it, his body temperature, indicating death had occurred only a few hours earlier, long after the area's last patrol. Security footage offered no clarity. Some cameras froze for hours, others skipped time entirely, and one camera facing the corridor captured a brief anomaly at 2:14 a.m., a flicker in which the corridor appeared occupied, not by someone entering, but by a shadow moving outward against the light, as if something inside had shifted. Neighbors reported hearing nothing, seeing no movement, no vehicles, no voices. Daniel's phone was recovered from his pocket, powered off, undamaged, with no recent calls, messages, or location data, the last signal placing him miles away earlier that evening. The autopsy deepened the mystery. No toxins, no internal injuries, no cardiac or neurological event, organs intact and healthy. The medical examiner ruled the cause of death undetermined, privately noting it appeared the body had simply stopped, as if something essential had been removed without leaving a trace. Detectives attempted reconstructions, consulted engineers, reviewed blueprints, retraced access points, all leading to the same dead end. Weeks later, a city archivist reviewing maintenance logs uncovered a disturbing pattern every decade or so, dating back nearly 70 years. A body had been discovered in that same sealed corridor. Each case briefly investigated, each ruled undetermined, each quietly archived. Different names, different years, but the same constants. No injuries, no access, no explanation, and always discovered shortly after the hatch was found unlocked but undamaged. When this information reached investigators, the corridor was welded shut and the buildings marked for demolition. But the demolition never happened, delayed by paperwork and funding disputes. And during that time, workers reported strange sensations near the site, pressure in the ears, radios cutting to static, tools going missing, and one night guard claimed he heard movement behind the welded hatch, slow and deliberate, like someone shifting their weight. Officers returned, cut the welds, and found the corridor empty. No body this time, just a faint outline pressed into dust, the shape of a person standing upright, facing outward, as if waiting. The hatch was sealed again. The case officially closed due to lack of evidence. And today the buildings still stand, fenced off and forgotten. Yet maintenance reports continue to note the same anomaly. The hatch occasionally found, unlocked despite no key existing and no record of access. The deaths remain unexplained, the files archived, and the question unanswered, because whatever place those bodies had never appeared clearly on camera, never left fingerprints, and never needed permission to enter a place where no one could go.